North, Mr. Alien.
Section 51.
Section 51.
Section 51.
Hello guys, welcome back to Section 51 and I am the Blackdevil and today we're gonna talk about the moon. This year, the 20 July 2019, will be the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 mission. Small reminder, it is the mission where for the first time the man to walk on the moon. For this occasion, we're gonna review the controversial truth about the extraterrestrial presence on the moon, showing some compelling evidence such as vast artificial structures and ruins of cities. The fact that the moon may be inhabited, as well as the testimony of experts and astronauts who walk on the moon and who reveal new facts and evidence. So this year will mark the 50th anniversary of the first lunar landing of man on the moon. We have all seen the pictures and know the story called official. But what has not been said, what really happened, what did astronauts encounter on the lunar surface, and what do the governments of our planet do not want us to know? For some years, NASA has been revealing images that have never been seen before, showing us the vast artificial structures that suggest that the moon could have served as a base and possibly a transit zone by mysterious extraterrestrials. Experts, as well as astronauts who work on the moon, unveil new facts and evidence for the first time, along with 3D flyovers of lunar construction inspired by real NASA data, and images of alleged extraterrestrial female recovered during a secret US-Soviet mission on the moon in the 1970s. Some photos show the existence of what looks like facilities, factories, spaceships, and huge satellite dishes. Many extraordinary signs of an extraterrestrial lunar presence exist and will be hidden on the other side of the moon. A gigantic structure resembling a nuclear power station cooling towers rises from the bottom of a crater perfectly round or flat. Nearby, another large structure with a pipeline extends at a 45-degree angle, casting an obvious shadow. Also, the surprising interview with Apollo 11 astronaut Buzz Aldrin, which reveals that a UFO followed the spacecraft for 3 days on its way to the historic moonwalk. Aldrin also looks back at some of the lunar photos that strongly suggest exotic structures on the moon, and then the categorical affirmation of Apollo 14 astronaut Edgar Mitchell that UFOs are real, that there is an extraterrestrial presence on Earth and in the space around us, and that the US government has been made aware of this fact for several decades. And there is an exclusive interview with Vito Saccheri which tells his story involving NASA and 2000 lunar photos taken in 1979, clearly containing massive exotic structures on the moon. The ruins of the lunar cities extend for miles. They will contain gigantic domes built on massive foundations connected by many tunnels, forcing scientists to reconsider their old assumptions about the formation of the moon. Moreover, they still cannot understand how our natural satellite was born, or in what way began the revolutions around the Earth. The heaps of ruins discovered on the moon cannot in any case be assimilated to natural geological formations, because their arrangement and their geometric structure are far too complex to consider. In the upper part of Rima Hadley, not far from the Apollo 15 landing site, a building surrounded by a high D-shaped wall was discovered. To date, artificial constructions of the same type have been discovered in 44 different sites. According to Neil Armstrong, the extraterrestrials have a base on the moon and they wanted us to stop going and stay away from the moon. Milton Cooper, a naval intelligence officer, tells that the intelligence community is calling the alien base Luna. This base on the far side of the moon was seen and filmed by the Apollo astronauts. The base, a mining operation that uses very large machines and the huge extraterrestrial vessels described in reports of sightings as motherships exist on the moon, says Milton Cooper. In 1979, Maurice Chatelain, NASA's former chief of communication systems, confirmed that Armstrong had indeed reported to the mission control that two large mysterious objects were watching them after landing near the lunar module on the edge of a crater. These meetings have been well known in NASA, but nobody has talked about them until now because of censorship, he said. Armstrong confirmed that the story was true, but he refused to go into details, other than to admit that the CIA was behind the cover-up. Soviet scientists were the first to confirm the incident. The meeting was reported immediately after the moon landing of the module, said Dr. Vladimir Azhazha, a physicist and professor of mathematics at the Moscow University. Scientists and engineers involved in Mars and Moon exploration projects reported the results of their findings at a meeting at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. on March 21, 1996. They revealed for the first time the presence on the moon of artificial structures and objects. The scientist's speech was rather cautious and evasive and did not refer to UFOs. According to them, the existence of these artifacts was possible, but this information was being processed. It was also mentioned at this meeting that the Soviet Union possessed photographic evidence of the presence of such activity on the moon. The nature of this activity remains indeterminate, but these traces will be undeniable in many points of the lunar surface, as the thousands of photos and videos from the Clementine and Apollo ships that have been projected, many of which were very surprising that material was not made public earlier. NASA experts said it was difficult to predict the public's reaction to the revelation that foreign creatures had been trading or perhaps still trading the lunar soil. They added that there were also other reasons for this secret, and that the control went beyond NASA itself. The lunar studies specialist Richard Hoagland also said that NASA is still retouching the photos before they are published. Hoagland, along with other researchers, argues that an extraterrestrial race has used the moon as a base of space operations during their activities on Earth, and that it is reflected in many myths and legends, terrestrial cultures. For several decades, the subject regularly raised questions and credible theories. The very first anomaly worldwide, that of Apollo 8 in December 1968, people claim to have recognized in some forms vessels or extraterrestrial constructions installed on the moon. Nevertheless, most often it remains difficult to determine what exactly caused the observed forms, geological phenomena, artifacts, or others. Given the many issues related to the Earth satellite, it is undeniable that not everything is as simple as some would have us believe. Why, after the Apollo 17 mission, have all lunar programs been stopped, and we do not wish to continue exploring the moon? What did they see there to decide never to return? All this make you think. So do your own research and judge for yourself. Live long and prosper.